Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder again, and I have another AITA story for you. This is Am I the Astronaut for Posting Brother's Wedding Photos Without Sister-in-Law? My brother, 29, got married last month to his now wife, 28. Her family devoured the wedding while our side was only 10 people. When it was time to take professional photos, I knew that it was going to be the first time our side had any professional photos. I really wanted my son, mom, and 2 brothers and I all to have some shots together. I started noticing my brother and his wife had a system down where they were together each photo and different guests and family would take turns around them. We took our photos with the couple, and then I asked for some solo family shots. My sister-in-law didn't seem too thrilled. I felt kind of bad, but we only took like 3 photos max. Fast forward to now, I had requested some wallet-sized photos, and I also was getting a large 50 by 65 centimeter picture to display on my living room wall. I have a picture book I scrapbook in and happened to put all the wedding photos from that day inside. For my wallet wall picture, I had just the photos of our family. When my brother and sister-in-law came over a couple of nights ago, I guess the living room photo on the wall caught them by surprise, and my sister-in-law later cried to my brother that night. They couldn't believe I hung up a picture from their wedding without her. I had plenty in my book of her, just not the one displayed on the wall. I honestly feel like my older brother is mad at me. Am I the asshole? Candy Thunder gave us the top comment from this. You're the asshole. It was a wedding, and the photographers were there to get bridal shots, not family portraits. It's unbelievably rude of you to even ask. They, as a couple, or the parents, somebody paid a shit ton of money to have professional wedding photographers there. For you to be in the line and having family come through taking pictures with you, and then they're like, hey, do you all mind stepping out for just a few shots? You're like, you mean the groom and the bride? Yeah, I guess. I guess they kept the groom in because that's the brother, but they're like, yeah, would you mind stepping out? In this case, I think the audacity point for me is that they asked. Normally, either the photographer or wedding coordinator or bride or groom or maid of honor, whoever is controlling the show at this point, would be like, okay, now we're doing photos of groom with his side of the family, so get them all lined up and send them all through, or bride and her side of the family, so get them all lined up and send them all through. But to have somebody who's coming through the line getting pictures be like, hey, could you step out so we can get some with just us? I feel like that's an audacity point. Even if it's common to get pictures with one or the other and their pieces of the family, for the person that's coming for a guest to make a request to change things about the system feels like an audacity point. Asking was the problem. But the bride, I guess, was a little put off by that, but the big thing to her was seeing that the big print that they actually hung up on the wall was the pic without her in it. She is part of the family now too, and she was just excluded from it. She doesn't feel like she's part of their family. Where OP was coming from here was, we've never had professional photos before. You guys have a professional photographer. Let's get some pictures, and those are the ones that I'm going to hang up. Because we've never had professional photos before. They just took advantage of the situation. And taking advantage of the situation and thinking only about themselves here because they had never had professional photos before is what makes them the asshole. So they are the asshole. How big of an asshole are they? How big a boy are you? I don't think this makes them a terrible human, because it seems like they just weren't thinking about. It wasn't malicious. I'll put it that way. It was more ignorant than malicious. So I think we could take 1 off the table. 2 may be applicable. You definitely shouldn't have done it. Or 3 should have done it differently. I'm going to go with 2 here. And I'm calling OP a solid number 2 here because they were only thinking about themselves. And the fact that they had never had professional photos before. And that caused them to make a request that they shouldn't have made. A solid number 2.